The wind is picking up and blowing smoke right in our faces, and guess what? That's I-45 right there. This is what a chunk of Walker County looks like right now. Scorched earth as far as the eye can see.
You could see that smoke from that fire for miles. KHOU 11 News reporter Gabe Gutierrez is in Waller County, and Gabe, not a lot of warning for many folks.
Virtually no warning at all, Sherman. This fire burned 200 acres this afternoon. It is now 30% contained, but at one point it jumped FM 1488 behind me. Waller County is getting walloped.
I'm not leaving till that lady sings. You make a decision as to what you can do and what you can't do.
As Joe Thomas rushed to save her precious horses, her hands shook. The wall of smoke was creeping closer.
All the way past that house to that house is where my husband was raised. And it may not be standing when we come back.
Higher winds fueled this fire around 3 in the afternoon.
Do you live down here?
Yeah, I live on Brad
Pull off
here.
the road here and let me see some ID.
Forcing sheriff's deputies to evacuate more than 2,000 people in minutes.
There's a lot of friends that I have that live out there that have homes that are no longer there. A lot of livestock that's gone.
Ken Miller has seen fires before, but not like this, not this close.
This is scary knowing that your home and your animals and everything's at risk right now.
Animals are on the minds of many in this rural community.
Well, it's my daughter's first horse, so it's pretty important.
From the air, the fire was even more impressive.
If you were in front of it, it'd scare you. I mean, it's big and bad.
So big and bad, William Compass left reluctantly. He's spending the night in his RV.
The smoke and ashes were landing on my house. So my son wouldn't leave unless I left, so I had to get out.
Looks like he did get out just in time. And firefighters will work throughout the night to try to get this thing under control. Again, it is 30% contained. And Waller ISD has announced that 2 elementary schools will close tomorrow. They are Field Store Elementary and Turlington Elementary. All the other schools in the ISD will stay open. Reporting live in Waller County, I'm Gabe Gutierrez, KHOU 11 News.
As crews prepare for another night on the front lines, evacuated residents are getting anxious.
KHOU 11 News reporter Gabe Gutierrez is live in Waller County, and Gabe, some folks are just refusing to stay away.
That's right, Sherman. Some of those folks are just staying put despite warnings from sheriff's deputies who say they're having to shift resources away from the fire to keep some of these people safe. Now, this is this fire's 4th night. It is 50% contained, but for the more than 70 firefighters who are here right now, it's going to be another long night. Just when they thought the Waller County fire was under control, the winds shifted, sending firefighters into a frenzy.
We're losing. We're trying to put this fire out.
But despite this afternoon's flare-ups,
it's home. It's all we have.
The Polks are staying put, defying evacuation orders and preparing to fight the fire themselves with tubs of water if necessary.
I won't leave till the mailboxes are gone.
If we leave, we're never going to be able to come back.
These fires have been stubborn, burning more than 6,000 acres in Waller County alone since Monday. At least 100 homes have been destroyed, 20 of them last night.
It's very surreal. It doesn't seem very real, but you know it is.
Michelle Patton is one of more than 2,000 evacuees waiting for word. She thought sheriff's deputies might let her go home tonight. Instead, the flare-ups are threatening her property.
It's scary. Scary, because we could sit down. It's easier to be almost on your front porch watching it, seeing it happen and knowing what's happening than be somewhere else evacuated and you can't even keep up with it.
Information is tough to come by. Some evacuees say authorities aren't being upfront.
For this size fire and the fuel load, we are stretched thin. We're doing the best we can.
Others are just thankful they're here.
I'm sure they're all tired and just beat.
But that doesn't mean the Polks are leaving just yet.
It's a ghost town. The only people that pass by are policemen and firemen.
It may be a ghost town, but it's still their town, no matter how close this fire gets. And we have no confirmation on how many homes burned today. But again, authorities are telling residents to please be patient, that they're doing the best they can with limited resources. Reporting live in Waller County, I'm Gabe Gutierrez, KHOU 11 News. And this fire has already burned 5,800 acres, and the wind is getting worse. As firefighters race to the flames, evacuees rush to this convenience store.
The last I heard, they were dumping water in my yard.
But there is nothing convenient about Liz Leverett's situation.
We've got the clothes we got on our back, and that's it.
They come here for supplies, for support, for comfort.
It's pretty scary knowing you're gonna lose. You could lose lose everything, you know.
Don't know nothing yet.
While these women waited for answers indoors, their neighbors waited outside. The toughest parts, the heat and
The waiting, not knowing what's going on. They won't tell you nothing really.
The Grimes County fire started Sunday, 3 miles east of the small town of Whitehall. Since then, 1,800 homes have been evacuated. Around 30 have been destroyed.
Never seen anything like it in my life. It was, the best I can describe it is a F3, F4 tornado made of fire.
Joseph Fletcher barely escaped the Millstone subdivision. Somehow his mom's trailer is still standing. Many others are not. He's not convinced the danger is over.
Flames were so high before, it burned all the leaves dead on the trees, but it didn't burn them off. So now they can come back and relight the tops.
Back at the store, that thought makes Liz Leverett choke up.
When you live on a fixed income, pretty hard.
More than just an inconvenience, she says. Her livelihood's at stake. And right now this fire is 35% contained. The Grimes County Sheriff is blaming a barbecue pit for starting this fire. He says he knows who is responsible, but he's waiting until the fire is out before pursuing any charges. Reporting live in Grimes County, I'm Gabe Gutierrez, KHOU 11 News. It is one of the longest walks possible.
I wanted to cry. What is that? Oh.
The walk home after a wildfire.
All kinds of feelings are rushing through me. We just lost our whole life.
Wendy Adams grew up here in Grimes County. Her daughter Harley lived here with her grandparents. They never expected this.
So this was the front door, and this was the living room. That was all Mom's bedroom. This is our fireplace. It's all melted. It's all gone.
This loss is magnified by one stunning realization. The family says it has no insurance.
Honestly, I didn't know what to feel. It's too much just going through me right now. You have to laugh in order to keep from crying.
But in the rubble, they find some solace.
I would ring it when I'd show up at my grandparents', and Harley would ring it when she'd show up here at her grandparents'. So it's kind of like a family heirloom kind of thing.
Family is important here. Turns out Harley is a junior firefighter and may have saved her grandparents' lives when the flames tore through here on Sunday.
I called because I was on the fire with the firefighters. I had to stay in the truck because I'm their junior, but I told my grandparents to get out of the house.
Only a teenager, she knows what she'll miss most.
Walking in the front door after school every day.
That is the kind of walk she prefers to remember. And despite all this damage, this is still not officially a disaster area in the federal government's eyes.
It's basically destroyed.
For the last 3 months, Robert Els has been busy. He's trying to salvage what's left of his property.
Pretty tough, pretty tough. You're never going to get it back. Took me 45 years to accumulate it. Took 45 minutes to lose it.
The fast-moving wildfire back in June scorched more than 5,000 acres and 34 homes, yet the government has not declared it a federal disaster area, meaning people like Els aren't eligible for temporary housing or low-interest loans.
I just think that FEMA ought to include us in this program and give us some help too. There's a lot of people in here that need it.
The Millstone subdivision was hardest hit by the Dyer Mill fire. What some residents here don't understand is why the feds are helping the victims of the Tri-County fire this month while leaving them to pick up the pieces alone.
Everything I own is burnt to the ground.
John Schufert has spent the past month living in his RV.
I don't know how bad you have to get to call it a federal disaster. I can't imagine it being worse than this.
Adding to his frustration is that the Dyer Mill fire destroyed dozens of homes here, while the fire earlier this month leveled just one home in Grimes County.
They're eligible and we're not. I don't understand that.
It's been 3 months Robert Els will never forget. He just hopes he's not forgotten. And FEMA says that there are certain criteria that must be met in order to become a federal disaster area, and that this fire just didn't meet that threshold. But local officials here say that volunteers and private citizens have stepped up and done more than the government ever could. Reporting live in Grimes County, I'm Gabe Gutierrez, KHOU 11 News.